Hey everybody, we are teaching Vermillion. And today we're going to talk about one of my favorite words. This is the verb to stipple. Yes, it's almost dirty to say. Stippling is how we use our paintbrush, but not to stroke with a brush, but to poke the canvas, which gives us a very different texture and technique for painting. So I'm going to start this off by grabbing my little oval brush, our wonderful 1-inch oval. Now this technique also works better when you're going for a bristly version as opposed to the smooth version. The smooth version is meant to be a little smoother and blendier, but in stippling, we want to see the bristles. We want to see the pokiness. So I'm going to take the bristle version of my brush, and instead of stroking, it's just poking it. So you can see instead of doing broad strokes, it's a little tiny cluster of dots. Depending on your brush, that pattern is going to change. So if I switch to my larger brush, now when I go in with the same color for the same effect, you can see it's going to be a different pattern, a different shape. Whoops, too hard. Undo. So depending on the effect you're going for, if it's a small round bush, this makes great for patterns of leaves. So the bush will be a dark green, but then a pale green speckle pattern for highlights on the leaves. Or if this is a large green background, I could get wildflowers by stippling bright color against the green. So stipple, poking the tip. So for example, with the rigger brush, if I had a black sky, I could load up with white paint and just poke to get stars. Obviously, I'm going a little quicker than I have to, which gives me some bigger smeary ones. But I can get a very fine dot by poking instead of brushing. The different brushes will definitely give you different patterns. So a fan brush, for example, you can imagine depending on how you hold it and the way you move it, it can give you different shapes and patterns. Horizontal lines of dots as opposed to vertical lines of dots, that type of thing. So we're going to switch to the headset view so we can get a little closer look and try stippling with a few different brushes. And then we'll look at some examples of some larger paintings using the stippling technique. So hang on to your hats. We're going to jump into headset mode. Okay, headset mode. So let's get a little closer look at this. Whoops. I load up my brush, and then I just poke. I'm not stroking with it, I'm just poking with it. And you can see the pattern of the bristles coming out in the paint. So if I did a section of large blue, just flat blue, but now I'm going to get a much paler blue, go up into a different layer so they don't mix. Let's see if I can get some patterns sort of like highlights of sunlight on waves. So I'm not stroking lines, I'm making little clusters, and the shape of the fan brush helps keep it in little tiny tight clusters. So stippling, let's grab one of those bigger brushes again. So as we can see, just poking against the canvas. If you poke hard, it'll smear it. If we just tap, stipple technique. Great for things like clouds or trees and bushes, flowers, sunset, sunlight reflecting off waves. Anytime we want a little bit of a random connection. Works with any color. If you do stipple on top of other color, it will start to blend. Not as fast as if you're brushing, but it will start to blend. Let's grab a different brush. So remember, brushes will come in different flavors. The smooth flavor won't give you much texture because the bristles are smooth together. If I switch to the bristle version, you'll see a little bit more of the texture of the brush tips. There we go. Need some more paint here. So a bristly brush giving you a more speckled pattern using the term stipple. Poking instead of brushing. Let's take a look at a few paintings using this technique. Stippling to bring out the different colors without blending them, especially things like leaves in the forest, really give you that effect. Or if you want to do things like breaking waves, that spray of foam is easily done using a stipple technique. So stipple did the white spray. A little bit of texture on the top, but that speckly pattern is all done by light brushing and stipple poking with the tip of the brush. So there you go. To stipple. As much fun to do as it is to say. Let us know if you have any questions in the comments below. Feel free to link in any works you like, or if there are other videos that you think would be helpful. I don't mind sharing the information down below. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy your painting. Enjoy your stippling.